Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Got another good return from Britain. What the importance of getting north and south quickly as a punt returner, how important is that?
I mean, it's huge. You know, we always kind of preach, like, if we could get a first down for the offense in our punt return game, it helps our field position in any regard. And a lot of times it has to do with what the opponent's doing, what their coverage lanes are, what our game plan is. I think Britain's done a really good job of understanding what we're trying to get done for that week. Then he allows everybody else to, have the confidence knowing, okay, he's back there. We got an opportunity to flip the field. For us, as a team, we're out there just trying to, make the offense's field position as short as possible. You can see how explosive they are. So if they don't have to go, 75 yards every time, if they only have to go 50 yards, 55 yards, we're helping our team out in that regard. But, getting north and south with Covey has been great for us. It's shown, but we still could get better. You start getting all these big returns, you start to get a little bit more confidence, and you want to make as much yards as possible given the opportunities we got.
The Cowboys have had success getting their field goals, getting their blocks and rushes up the middle. How much does that impact the decisions to go for longer field goals when they have lower trajectories?
Yeah, I think Dallas has over the last couple of years been a really good field goal block team. That goes down to the guys we have on our field goal pro. I think Landon and Sewell, all those guys, Fred Johnson, Jack Driscoll, have done an outstanding job. And it's more just pointing out that this is a very dangerous field goal block team and just sinking to our fundamentals and technique. Jake does a great job with his elevation in terms of longer field goals, but we can't allow any penetration, any pressure, because if they get 2 to 3 yards and they get their hands up, they got a great opportunity to block the field goal. So it's us on the front line, really being physical and not allowing any penetration from the interior.
Michael, another punt return question. Is there a hard and fast rule where you want Britain to fair catch, like how deep, when you want him to let it go? Does that depend on the conditions, the opponent, the situation?
Yeah, a lot of it has to depend on, where the punt originally started from. Obviously, you saw in the Tampa Bay game, it was more of a field punt, and he kind of returned it from inside the 5. But it was such a long punt, it didn't allow the coverage to get down there. Obviously, as the field shrinks, we have a set rule where, we want to place Covey at, and, at that spot, is if it's in front of you, go up and go catch it. If it's behind you, try to do something where it allows that ball to be a touchback. But, we have different parameters to, where we are on the field really kind of dictates, the return, non-return factor of it.
Are there any good comps for Turpin?
I mean, he's as dynamic as I've seen in a long time. Really dangerous with the ball. Whenever he touches it, you got to be sure that you've got everybody locked in to get him down, because he's kind of short in stature, but he is explosive. He could break through tackles. I don't know if there's really a comp for the explosiveness that he has. I mean, he could stretch a coverage, put his foot in the ground at full speed, and make you miss. He had a really good game last week against the Rams. I know one got called back because of a penalty, but this guy's as dangerous as they come. So we really got to be in tune with our coverage responsibilities and make it a full 11 effort to get him down.
With John Fossil, and correct me if I'm wrong, but just to the naked eye, he seems, I don't know, more willing to do some different things as far as trick plays over the years. Is that something you've sensed?
Yeah, luckily enough, when Bonesy was in L.A., I was in San Francisco, so having to go against him. Then when he got the job in Dallas, then me coming here, just kind of familiar. But they pushed the envelope on trying to extend possessions, try to get an extra possession right there. So we've got to really be keyed in. For myself, of studying the game plan, studying the tape, any type of tendencies we could possibly find out to get these guys ready. But Bonesy does a great job outside of the fakes in all 4 of his phases, even all 6 phases, field goal, block, field goal. So we have a really big challenge ahead of us, as a division rival, and to get these guys back in tomorrow, we're raring to go, and have a good opportunity to show that we've been playing some good ball and we got to keep it going.
Mike, I guess coincidentally, the 2 times you guys have faced an onside kick, the ball has gone to Devontae. I guess just right before you send the hands team on there, what are the teaching points and the teaching points in that huddle?
Yeah, no, it's, we spend a good amount of time Friday and Saturday going over our hands team, and a lot of it's, tendencies on what that kicker does, if he was on a different team, what the opposing team likes to do, and we have certain rules when guys are facing certain ways that we want to block it up, and Dallas and Devontae have done an unbelievable job the times we've been out there for our hands team, and they, the guys in front are kind of selfless, They're out there knowing that they got two guys that are sure hands. They got to go block, guys running full speed for 10 yards and make sure that, that nobody gets around them. But it was a really good play, kind of unseen. Devontae went and snatched that ball out off a tricky bounce, a tricky second hop. So having those two guys, Dallas and Devontae, out there are you can't be too mad about that.
You didn't have Boston back for, I guess, the 56-yarder, but you did for the 61. Is that sort of the demarcation line of when you're going to put somebody back, or can that change?
Everything could kind of change. If there's a heavy, headwind in there, maybe at the 56, I put him back there. But we knew Joey Sly had a really strong leg and an opportunity to possibly, if maybe he mishit it and it floats up there, we have an opportunity. But everything's kind of set on what that kicker's doing, what the weather's like. What's the chances? It was a really good job by Nakobe and Jordan kind of getting a nice false start, and that's at that time I felt like, hey, we have an opportunity. If he does miss hit it, we could get a return here. But really kudos to Joey Sly. He did a heck of a job. I mean, he put it all through that 61-yarder, and he had some extra yards on it. So just like anything else, we're going to try and take our opportunities when they're out there, and if they don't, so be it.
How much was Nolan beating himself up over the end of the Covey return?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. These guys, they practice so hard on Thursdays, our punt return day, and they go through so many individual drills with Joe P. And, they know that 18's done a really good job. And, I don't think anybody's more mad at themselves than when they could possibly get more yards out of the return. And a lot of it, for these young guys, is just teaching more than anything else. There wasn't anything effort-wise out of Nolan. He's trying to do his job, block 96, get in his hip. And, for us, we're not trying to make it on punt return 22 guys out there. We're trying to make it 11 guys out there to make it easy for Covey. If we're attached to the guy, it gives Covey a two-way go more than anything else. And he was trained to do it, but it's just a learning clip for him. If I don't think I could possibly get him, maybe I go next level and Covey can make a guy miss in that case. So, the big thing is not to allow him to beat himself up more than anything else. You don't want a guy to think about that play over and over throughout the game. I mean, just like anything else. All right, the play's over. We'll get it corrected. It's on to the next one because we have another opportunity to make another play. So just keep that confidence with Nolan. Nolan's been doing a really good job for us. He's getting better each week in all of our phases on special teams. So just to keep his confidence up, you never want to waver. I'm never going to be mad at a 25-yard return to give our offense the ball at midfield. Do we want to get more? Just like anybody else, everybody wants to get more. But for him, it's just to keep him going, keep teaching these young guys, different fundamentals, and maybe we'll get another one where we can actually pop one, and he's part of it to get a big return out of it.
As more as your younger guys are playing regularly, especially on defense, guys like Sidney Brown and Eli Riggs, etc. How flexible or how much more difficult does it make your job if they're not always available for special teams duty?
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about this team. Everybody's very selfless in what their jobs are. It's always cool seeing these young guys play offense and defense, and, being able to allow them to excel at that, but also they want to go back out there and help out on special teams. At times I have to pull Sidney back because he wants to go out there, but, he's almost his worst enemy. I got to hold him back at times. So it's really cool to see these young guys kind of take a selfless aspect of, I'm playing a lot of offense, I'm playing a lot of defense, but I still want to help on special teams. So in that terms, it just shows how much these guys are willing to go out there to help this team win more than anything else.
On those rotations of defensive backs, and how have you seen Ringo develop at special teams over the season? Where have you seen parts of his game improve?
Yeah, just like Nolan, he's getting better each and every week. His punt return game is something that I'm in awe of every time because we put a lot of pressure on him and Josh Jobe on the outside, when we have to handle them singled up against those gunners. But he does an outstanding job with his footwork, using his hands, using his leverage to, kind of get the return game started. You really can't get a return game started unless you take out the gunners. So him being able to go out there, and he prides himself on that, and you can see the confidence in himself when he's able to help out a big return. You could see in the Minnesota game when he was out there as a gunner, he made that play he made that one-on-one tackle at the end of the game. His confidence, just like anything else, he makes a big play. He's like a little kid again. That's what you want to see out of these guys in this sport, is to have them to have fun. So, it's always a learning curve for everyone, and he's been doing a great job even in practice, and praising him, but also staying on him, that he can do better at this. He can strive to be better at that.
Mike,
All right,
as you're
last one.
as you're watching Dallas, can you just kind of quantify how they're impacting each and every week special teams?
Yeah, and alluded to earlier, like Bonesy has done a great job in his entire career, from when he was with the Raiders to when he was with the Rams. Now in Dallas, they help their offense and defense out with the short field with their returner in Turpin. They do a great job on their punt rushes with Dorrance Armstrong and Sam Williams out there. Brian Anger's been doing this for a long time. Shoot, I remember watching Brian Anger at Cal and playing against him. He's doing a great job flipping the field. So, for Dallas to come in here, they've done a great job in all four phases on special teams. We have our work cut out, and I have nothing but respect for all 31 other coordinators in this league. And we're going to come out here tomorrow, get our game plan in, and come to work and say, hey, we have an opportunity to help out our offense and defense in our special teams phases against a really good one, and let's see what we got.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.